Hello everyone, welcome to heaven. Just kidding. I just look like I'm going to heaven. It's not even that funny. Today I'm going to be answering some of the questions that I have asked you to put on my Instagram. I asked a question on Instagram of what you would like me to answer, and I have some of the questions over here. If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's Penelope Pop Art, and I do a lot of different things there. I have another stream of IGTVs where I introduce cool products or I do makeup reviews. I'm just starting all of this like within the last month. So if you want to check those out, you can follow me on Instagram. Let's get to the video. Okay, so I want to answer some questions that you may have for me. Let's get it started. How's remote teaching? Actually, remote teaching is great. Because I teach high school students, I definitely don't think it's as challenging. I think one of the benefits is I'm very tech savvy, and I probably am not struggling as much as other teachers who might have a difficult time kind of adjusting their curriculum online. I actually enjoy it. I know that other people aren't adapting so well, so it's different for everybody, and for me, I enjoy it. But I actually have to still report to work because they want it to feel like we're in a school environment, which makes sense. This next question is by Sheena Secretario. How to establish a business. To establish a business, you will be finding that on my Go Talk Masterclass sponsored by Globe, which will be happening in about 2 weeks. I'll be posting it on my Instagram, so if you are interested, watch that. It's a whole hour-long episode of how to get started as an artist or just as a small business. So next, what's the secret of a 10-year relationship? I definitely think that there are always going to be challenges in different relationships, and I've actually been in an 11-year relationship, and I wouldn't say that it has been the greatest the entire 11 years. You just have to keep in mind that good relationship comes with good communication and both people being able to work through challenges that they encounter. It's a very two-way thing, not a one-way thing. But if it ends up being a one-way thing, you just need to make sure that you communicate for the other person to step up. That's really it. Like, no one sees the bad stuff, obviously, because no one really wants to share it unless, you know, that person is very open about it. And I usually wouldn't recommend sharing the bad stuff to the public because I don't think anyone that's disclosed anything bad that's happened to them has gotten anything good in return. Look at Britney Spears. People just shove their opinions about her relationship when they know nothing about it. How did it take you to actually become the minimalist that you are right now? To define minimalism, let's look at the dictionary. Minimalism is about living with less. That includes less financial burdens such as debt and unnecessary expenses. This is from Minimalist Living. I have been given the label minimalism, and I've also been receiving messages saying like, oh, she's not a minimalist, she has more than what she preaches. No, it's true. I do live with less than I did before. I definitely curate the items that I own. I definitely still buy things that I like, but I am more conscious about the things I purchase to ensure that I actually use the items that I'm going to buy, and just being more careful with the choices that I make. And that to me is being a curator of your life. Definitely it's great for people to get to know you as something, but I definitely don't like it when there are comments that are like, oh, she's not practicing this. It's really open. Minimalism is very open. It doesn't mean the specific number of items you have that will define you into minimalism. End scene. What kind of student are you way back then? The silent one, the genius, the co-curricular, etc. So in high school, I was someone that had average grades. I was not that smart because I guess I struggled with science, math, anything that you think a Chinese person would be good at, I just was not. Like, I took the SATs, I had so many tutors that were helping me, and it was just so hard for me to make connections to anything that was logical. I was very art-based. I was good in my art classes. I definitely wasn't strong academically. Average. And average because I actually worked hard. Would I say I work smart? Definitely not, but I have kind of improved in that aspect as I've grown older. My advice is you don't need to be academically strong to succeed in life. I think one of the things is being able to identify your strengths and work with those, and then figure out how to make the most out of it within society. Just adapt to what society is, because I know there are a lot of people that are like, society doesn't fit me. Well, it's just the way things are right now, and you just have to learn to adapt to kind of make things a lot easier for you. I think going against the flow just really makes it a lot harder than trying to just adapt. Maybe you don't agree with it, maybe you can be a change maker, you can do something about it, but sitting there and complaining isn't going to make any changes. How to take care of your mental health amidst a pandemic. Actually, when we were going through a pandemic, I was really working on getting fit and doing everything that everyone else was trying to do, which was, you know, magically look better after the pandemic, and also try to cook, do things that you wouldn't necessarily do. To take care of yourself is to just focus on yourself and listen to your needs and wants and be attuned to how you're going to make yourself feel better. Does that mean more sleep? Does that mean doing activities that you like more? Just listen to that. Figure out a way to take care of yourself despite your socioeconomic situation. I say I'm very privileged, so I was able to kind of do a lot of the things that I wanted to, but there are a lot of people that aren't able to, and you just need to think of your situation and how you're able to focus on yourself despite what your environment is like. I don't know how that helps, but it's just, to me, everything is so situational, and I definitely don't think that giving a definitive answer is going to help, because that will be taken against me as well. Do you want to have kids someday, and if so, how many? That's a really funny question, because I have a very low tolerance for pain, and I took up early education, so I did watch a lot of birthing videos. So I eventually built up this fear of giving birth. The thought of having kids is great, but at the same time, I'm so afraid of pain, so which one will work? So I've always joked about having surrogacy, which is also not good, because I'm directing that energy towards the universe, and then maybe I'll become infertile or something like that. But yeah, I do, but it's just, I think that is not something that is important. You do you. If your path suggests that you don't need to have kids, that's great. Not everybody needs to have kids in this day and age, and also it may be good because we are lessening the carbon footprint. What's your guilty pleasure? My guilty pleasure is listening to songs that I like over and over again. I listen to a song an embarrassing number of times when I like it and I first hear it. So I could play it the whole day and it would be fine with me. I don't get sick of it. Yeah, I guess that's my guilty pleasure. And I guess something that's embarrassing is like it's not really embarrassing. You just need to embrace it. But I've given up on like finding new songs. So I just listen to what I'm used to, which is nice poppy music. Penelope pop. How do you maintain your space organized and clean? In my video of how to organize your closet, talked about the difference between organizing and cleaning. Cleaning is just kind of tidying up and make sure the space is like clutter-free. And organizing is actually being able to distinguish between the different areas in your room. You are intentionally placing things and knowing where everything is. In order to maintain a clean space, you need to make sure that you are organized in the first place. Otherwise, you like tidy up for a bit and then you don't know the order of the things, so it's just going to build up clutter and you're gonna be back to where you started, which was a messy space. Next question is, do you take makeup expiry dates after opening seriously? When do you toss them? Yes, I do. I do take it very seriously, but my goal is always to try to finish the products that I use. One of the products I feel that I definitely do not take as seriously is eye makeup. Everything else I do. I find that eyeshadows are very, very hard to finish within the 2-year time span, but I do take it seriously. I buy enough makeup that I see myself using every day, and if I feel like it's been there for 2 years and past the date of use, I don't throw it away, I dispose it properly. That's what you should be doing. Next is, how did you book the job for the artwork for Ayala Malls? This is really interesting for me to share, but I basically asked a bunch of my friends saying, if you have any opportunities that I can work on, please let me know. And my friend offered me the Glorietta mural job, and I'm really happy because it really helped me get recognized and get more projects, so I'm really grateful for that. So one advice I do give people is make the most out of your resources and whatever opportunities you may have at the very beginning. Beggars can't be choosers. Really, at the beginning, you just have to snatch up whatever you can that you like, of course, and also being able to endure things you don't necessarily like as well. resilience. Not everything is going to be a walk in the park and great. There's so many challenges that you have to face, and that's it. You're not gonna like everything that you do. But my advice is always to snatch up any opportunity you may have, because you never know what would happen if you missed it. Next question is, what is your advice for a 21, 22-year-old? My advice for the youth is resilience. I find that many of them are like strawberries. It's so hard for people to learn how to cope and kind of work through challenges that may not be suitable for them. I get that everybody has their own challenges, their insecurities, but that is really at the core. You have to understand that we just have to learn to adapt to different situations. I definitely think I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I am resilient to everything. I definitely have struggled with many things in my life, and I've just had to kind of work through it. And I feel that many of the youth struggle with that. They just don't know what to do when they encounter something difficult. They panic, they get anxiety. There's a huge increase in anxiety, and I feel like it's because we don't know how to address it anymore. We try to be as understanding as possible, but at the same time, there are no coping strategies. It's just kind of like, you'll get better. No, you have to teach coping strategies. Understand that that is how things are, and we really need to be able to work through it. So that's my advice for the youth, and I will end that with that today. If you have any questions, you can probably ask me in the comment section and I'll be able to answer it as well. That's it for today, and I hope you were happy with the questions that I've answered. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next time.